U.S. natural gas April futures dropped more than 4% to below $3.20 on Monday as expectations of a rapid de-escalation in the Middle East reduced the geopolitical risk premium across the energy complex. While international benchmarks remained elevated due to the Qatar energy force majeure, Henry Hub prices came under pressure after President Donald Trump suggested the Iranian conflict may be nearing its end and that vessel traffic through the Strait of Hormuz is beginning to resume. The shift in sentiment accelerated selling that was already supported by unusually warm weather in the next few days and record domestic production levels. At the same time, ongoing infrastructure outages at the Freeport LNG terminal in Texas continue to trap supply within the domestic market, limiting the ability of global shortages to fully lift local prices. Despite the comfortable supply situation in the U.S., Europe is facing a much tighter market. European natural gas prices surged again on Monday and are now trading at nearly twice the level seen on February 27, the day before the attacks on Iran began. Reports indicate benchmark European prices climbed above €55 per megawatt-hour compared with roughly €32 prior to the escalation. Elevated European prices could eventually pull U.S. gas higher as buyers may increasingly turn to the United States for LNG cargoes to replace disrupted Middle Eastern supply. The longer the Strait of Hormuz remains closed or partially restricted, the greater the potential impact on global gas availability. Seasonal dynamics are also important. Europe is transitioning from winter into spring, but experienced market participants know that the spring and fall shoulder seasons are critical periods when utilities aggressively refill storage ahead of the next winter. In Asia, the priority is preparing inventories before peak summer cooling demand arrives. Meanwhile, the weather forecast remains supportive for nat gas, as a cooler shift expected in the second half of March could widen the storage deficit to around -31 billion cubic feet, which is definitely not a bearish factor. Despite these bullish elements, prices still move lower, suggesting the market is currently trading in a relatively controlled manner. However, conditions could change quickly if geopolitical risk premiums begin to rise again. The Strait of Hormuz will remain the primary focus this week, particularly whether Washington can actually guarantee open energy shipping lanes. Personally, I remain skeptical of those assurances. Statements from Washington tend to sound very confident until reality in the region decides otherwise. As the conflict enters its second week, there is still no clear endgame, and in my view the situation is deteriorating rather than improving. The consequences are already spreading through the global economy, affecting power generation costs, airline fuel expenses and even inflation expectations. Even if the strait reopens quickly, that would only solve part of the problem. Qatar's Energy Minister Saad Al-Kaabi warned that restoring the country's LNG delivery schedules could take weeks to months even if hostilities stop immediately. From a technical perspective, April natural gas futures remain supported above the 50-day moving average at $3.11. As long as prices hold above this level, attention will shift toward the 200-day moving average at $3.51. A decisive break above that barrier could trigger a powerful short covering rally as speculative traders rush to exit bearish positions. If such a breakout occurs, the next upside targets would be $4 and $4.10. In the near term, traders are closely watching price behavior around the pivot level at $3.11. The market's reaction to this zone will likely determine the next directional move. Failure to hold above it could send prices back below the 50-day MA support, while sustained strength may open the door for an attempt to challenge the 200-day moving average. If you're looking for a more detailed breakdown of the market, consider joining the channel. Members get early access to new videos, so you can see the analysis before everyone else. Thanks for being here, see you in the next update.